Hi, and welcome to my channel, The Answer is You. In this next series, I thought it would be fun and interesting to take different spiritual influencers from different time periods in history and based on their teachings, to create a scenario if they could have had a conversation with one another. What or how would that unfold or sound? What would that conversation between them be like? So here is a conversation between Jesus and Buddha. I hope you enjoy. And with that, let's begin.
Buddha, my teaching is grounded in love. Love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. This is the greatest commandment.
Jesus, in my teachings, I also promote a path of compassion and understanding, though I do not speak of a God. We must strive to alleviate the suffering of others, as encapsulated in the concept of karuna.
Yes, we both emphasize compassion and the idea of serving others. I believe that by serving others, we are serving God.
Indeed, serving others can lead to selflessness, which is key to my teachings. But my path, the Eightfold Path, emphasizes not just right action, but also right understanding, right mindfulness, and right effort among others, to reach a state of enlightenment and the cessation of suffering.
In my teachings, the kingdom of God is within you. It is not a future state to be reached, but rather it's living in accordance with God's will here and now.
In my teachings, one does not need to wait for enlightenment either. Nirvana is not necessarily a distant realm or future state, but can be experienced in this very life by fully understanding and extinguishing the fires of desire, aversion, and delusion. Jesus. It seems to me that we share the idea of loving kindness. In my teachings, we call it metta. It's a sincere wish for the happiness of all beings, without any exception.
Yes, Buddha. Love is at the core of my teachings. We are told to love one another as we love ourselves, and even to love our enemies. This selfless love, agape, is a love that expects nothing in return.
Interesting. It's similar to metta, which isn't a conditional love. It doesn't depend on whether others are nice to us or love us back. It is an impartial and universal love.
And this is how we are able to show compassion, isn't it? By first loving others, we can understand their pain and act to alleviate it.
That's very similar to my teachings, Jesus. Compassion, or karuna, arises when we are confronted with another's suffering and feel motivated to relieve that suffering. It is the complement to metta and is born of a love for others.
Exactly, Buddha. And it's not enough to feel compassion. We must act upon it. As I have said, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.
I agree, Jesus. Compassionate action is a fundamental part of the path I've taught. We must practice mindfulness to maintain an awareness of the suffering in the world and continually act with kindness and compassion.
Yes, mindfulness. I teach my followers to be aware as well, to keep watch, not only in prayer, but in everyday life. Being aware helps us love better, serve better, and live in accordance with the will of God.
In my teaching, mindfulness, or sati, is one of the key elements of the Eightfold Path. It isn't just about being aware of the world around us, but also understanding our own minds. This helps us see the reality of suffering and thus cultivate compassion.
Buddha, while our paths might differ in certain aspects, it is clear we both guide our followers toward love, compassion, and understanding. Your teachings have opened my eyes to different perspectives on achieving peace and alleviating suffering. I am grateful for this enlightening exchange.
Jesus, I too am grateful. I have found great resonance with your teachings of love, kindness, and service to others. It's affirming to see that different paths can converge towards the same values of compassion and understanding. This conversation has truly been a meeting of minds and hearts.
I agree, Buddha. In a world where division is often easier than unity, conversations like ours offer hope. May our teachings continue to guide our followers towards paths of love and compassion.
Well said, Jesus. May our words inspire understanding and harmony among those who follow our teachings. Despite the differences, there is much common ground. I thank you for this conversation.
I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did writing and creating the video. Please remember to share and leave a comment on any suggestions of who you'd like to hear, have a conversation with one another. And with that, remember, the answer is you.